In Kenya, mushrooms are more than just a delicacy. They are an emerging opportunity for smallhold farmers to boost their incomes and diversify their crops. But how are mushrooms grown in Africa? And what makes them a sustainable and profitable venture for farmers across the continent? Today, we'll take you behind the scenes of mushroom farming in Kenya and explore its potential to transform local agriculture.
My name is Morris Ikonya. I'm a mushroom farmer based in Kiambu town, Kiambu County. We do various types of mushrooms. We do button, we do oyster, but at the moment we are doing a production for white oyster variety.
There's a wide variety of mushrooms to grow, each with its own requirements. Oyster mushrooms are often recommended for beginners because they are resilient and relatively easy to grow, while shiitakes and lion's mane may need more specific conditions.
There are various types of mushrooms to grow. We have oyster, we have button, we have shiitake, we have ganodama, we have lion's mane, we have maitake. So those are the various ones, but the popular are two types, that is button and oyster mushroom.
Growing mushrooms starts with choosing the right substrate, sterilizing it to prevent contamination, and adding mushroom spawn, which are small bits of fungi that kickstart the growth process. From there, it's all about managing conditions and waiting.
When someone is starting up their venture in mushroom production, a new farmer, first of all you need the skill. You need to know exactly which type of mushroom you'll be growing and the skill to grow them. You need to know the type of substrate that you can use when growing mushrooms and check if they are available in your region. If they're not, you can use whatever substrate that are within your reach. Especially for oyster growing, any agricultural waste or byproduct in the agricultural sector can be used as a substrate. What you need to do is to check on their efficacy in terms of nitrogen content, in terms of carbon, in terms of carbohydrates, because mushrooms also take up that. It's just a matter of you checking the substrates that are near you and their efficacy. So number one is a skill. Number two, type of mushroom to grow, which will guide you on the type of substrates to use.
Mushroom farming is unique because mushrooms have completely different growing requirements. Unlike crops that need sunlight, soil and space to grow, mushrooms thrive in dark, cool and humid environments, often in confined spaces.
My preferred substrate is wheat straw for button mushroom and bagasse. Bagasse is a byproduct of the sugar industry, so it's called the sugarcane bagasse. Both of them can also be used in oyster mushroom. For oyster, you can also do cotton husk, you can do rice husk, you can do rice straw, you can do bean stovers, maize cobs. There's a lot of them. Even banana leaves can be used to produce oyster mushroom.
The substrate is one of the most critical elements in mushroom farming since it acts as the soil that mushrooms use for nourishment. Because mushrooms don't have roots and don't rely on sunlight, they draw all their nutrients from this substrate. Preparing the substrate involves breaking it down and sometimes pasteurizing or sterilizing it to eliminate any competing organisms like mold and bacteria. The substrate's moisture, density, and nutrient profile all directly impact mushroom growth, making it essential to get this base right for a healthy, productive harvest.
For you to make the substrate ready, you need to, first of all, make sure you have all the raw materials ready. If you're mixing your substrates, make sure all of them are available at your location. When you have them, the first thing you need to do is to pasteurize them. You can do two types of pasteurization. You can either do cold pasteurization, hot pasteurization, or you can do both of them. So with cold pasteurization, you need post calcium, which is hydrated lime, and you can use it to pasteurize your substrate. After that, you can bag your substrate, and after bagging the substrate, you can steam it, which is the second part of pasteurization, which is heat pasteurization. So you need to mix your substrate well if you're using various of them. For us, we are using cotton husk together with sugarcane bagasse, sawdust, agricultural lime, and agricultural gypsum.
Mushroom farming comes with several unique challenges that new growers should be prepared for. From keeping contamination at bay to monitoring humidity and temperature levels, newcomers need to invest time in learning mushroom biology, growing techniques, and troubleshooting issues specific to fungi.
One of the biggest challenges is contamination when growing mushroom. There's a lot of competition with the substrate when it comes now to mushroom growing. There's a mold everywhere, naturally occurring in the environment, and it can attack your substrate, and once it attacks, it will take very short time for it to colonize and overtake the mycelium, your mushroom mycelium. So that is the biggest challenge when it comes now to the production of mushroom. The other one will be the conditions. If you're not able to meet the conditions, maybe the temperatures or even the CO2 when it is required, or the oxygen, we call it the fresh air exchange, FAE. When it is not adequate, then your mushrooms will have challenge to producing. You'll have a challenge producing mushrooms.
While mushrooms are often celebrated for their nutritional benefits and culinary versatility, they are also susceptible to a variety of threats that can compromise their growth and quality. Understanding and managing pests and diseases is crucial for achieving a successful harvest.
Pests that attack our mushrooms mostly are rodents, rats, and also slugs and flies. We have fruit flies that might get inside your grow house, and once they lay eggs there, they'll hatch into larvae, and then the larvae will start now eating up the mushroom. So how we handle that is proper pasteurization. For you to have a crop that is not infected by pests, first of all, to avoid the rodents, you seal up your room completely such that they don't have an access route. Any ventilation should be covered using a net so that rodents do not get inside. Also, slugs will have a hard time getting inside if your ventilation are well sealed. In the event rats get into your house, they'll start eating the spawn. Once it eats up the spawn, there is no mycelium that is going to form inside the bag. After the spawn, after the rats invade your house, they destroy the bags, and then they'll introduce mold and other contaminants. Then your bag will start turning green from green mold, or black when the substrate starts to rot. Then the slugs, slugs mainly eat the mushrooms when the mushrooms are growing. If you're growing in a farm setup like we do, and you have banana growing around your grow houses, then slugs are going to access your house easily. In the event you get the slugs inside your house, you should monitor them, and they are nocturnal, meaning they feed by night. So you can be monitoring, scouting your house and removing them, either by hand or you can use salt to eliminate them. Some people, I've been seeing some farmers spreading salt around their houses such that the slugs do not access their houses. Then the flies is only a matter of using an insect net. You cover your ventilation very well using an insect net, then flies will not access your house.
When it comes to successful mushroom farming, implementing best practices is key to achieving healthy yields and high-quality crops. So what are some of the best practices for mushroom farming that can help you navigate common challenges, minimize risk, and maximize your harvest?
One of the best practices is proper pasteurization. Whenever you're growing mushrooms, be it oyster, be it button or shiitake, the substrate needs to be pasteurized very well, and the water that you're using needs to be clean. You need to observe hygiene, total hygiene when you're growing mushrooms. So that is the best practice I would advise any farmer. First of all, check on the hygiene, one, of your grow house. Number two, the workers that you're using, they need to be observing hygiene. Then to cover up either their hands. After the substrate is pasteurized, you do not need to touch or come into contact with the substrate with bare hands. If you must touch the substrate, then your hands has to be very clean, and they can sterilize using a sanitizer or methylated spirit. So hygiene is one thing to check out when it comes to mushroom farming.
Choosing the right location for your mushroom farm is essential to ensure healthy growth and maximize yield. Accessibility is a crucial aspect of a successful mushroom farming venture.
Before you grow your mushroom, when it comes now to location, it is good for a farmer to produce nearer the market, because mushrooms are perishable, they are highly perishable, so you need to harvest them, and in under 2 hours they're already in the market. You don't want them taking too long. Maybe you are farming from upcountry and you want to sell them in the town centers. If it takes more than 3 hours, maybe in transit, in public means, maybe you don't have a chiller, then your mushrooms are going to spoil.
Finding a market for your mushrooms is essential for the success of your farm. Engaging with your community and creating relationships with local businesses can be particularly beneficial in fostering long-term success for your mushroom farm.
As Mycelia and Foods Limited, which is the company that I run, we sell our mushrooms to the supermarkets. So for someone who is looking for market, they could contact us and we'll be able to connect them to the market. And the other place you can use your neighbors as your market. When you're starting off as a new farmer, as a beginner, your market should be your neighbor. You need to introduce, or rather we need to do a campaign whereby we introduce our neighbors and the larger community into mushroom consumption, because mushroom comes with loads of benefits, which we might touch on a little bit later, and any person consuming mushrooms, they'll be building up their immunity. So your neighbors, people around you, that is maybe your former schoolmates, even your relatives, you can introduce them to mushrooms. They can become your market. But for us, because we have contracted farmers who normally bring us the mushrooms, we take to the supermarkets. The major supermarkets in the country, be it Naivas, Carrefour, and other hotels around Nairobi and major towns in the country. We supply to them.
Mushrooms offer a variety of health benefits that make them a valuable addition to a balanced diet. By adding mushrooms to your diet, you can enjoy numerous health benefits while also exploring a diverse range of culinary possibilities.
Mushrooms has loads of benefits. One of them is they're very high in protein, so they can be used as a substitute for meat because they are plant-based protein. They have up to 30% when it comes to protein content in them, especially for the oyster. It scores very high. Oyster and shiitake, they have very high protein in them. The next thing is they're very high in iron. They have vitamin B complex, so you are able to benefit, or if you consume mushrooms, your body will take up these nutrients. We have vitamin B complex, we have vitamin D, vitamin C, and other micronutrients, magnesium, potassium. You'll be able to find them inside the mushroom. And the good thing about mushrooms, they do not have a lot of calorie, so it is not something that will make you fatten you up or make you grow big. In fact, they are used as antioxidants to reduce any toxins that might be in the body. So for people who are seeking to lose weight, mushroom is one way or one meal that they can introduce in their diet, and they'll be able to lose weight in a healthy way. So the other thing I mentioned about antioxidants, which is selenium and vitamin B complex, which they help build up the bones as well as the brain development.
With some simple tools, knowledge and determination, mushroom farming is a rewarding endeavor that anyone can start.
For any farmer who is thinking about starting their venture in mushroom, one thing I would advise them is to go for training. We offer trainings and you need that skill. For you to grow mushrooms successfully, you need to be trained on how to grow them. Then number two, you need to start small. We have seen farmers who want to start big, and being a new venture to them, they are not able to understand how best to handle the mushroom. So start small. As you grow in knowledge, you can be enlarging your production. And mushroom is a rewarding venture, so I would welcome anyone who wants to venture into it. We offer trainings, as I said. You can reach out to us and be able to work with you step by step. And then the good thing of partnering with us is because we will offer you direct market. Your mushrooms, you will not lack market for them. So once you partner with Mycelium Foods Limited as a new beginner, as a new farmer, your mushrooms will have market.
Thank you for joining us today as we explored the world of mushroom farming in Kenya. If you're interested in learning more about farming opportunities and agricultural trends in Africa, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos.